Man, I'm so happy that the NFL is back. Let's take a minute to sit down and see how my picks went from last week. I'm pretty sure I killed it as usual. Alright, let's take a look. NFL Week 1 scores. What do we got? Alright, Chiefs, yep. Bills, yep. Oh, wow. Some of these look really weird. 12 seconds later.
Kirk trying to win it to Thielen, caught at the 5! I got 3 words for you. You like that? No!
What in the hell was that? Okay, guys. I don't know about you, but I wasn't expecting a lot of what happened in Week 1. And if you watched my picks from Week 1, you realize that many of my picks that I had been so sure about didn't pan out very well. Take Washington, for example. I didn't even know if they were going to win a single game. Let's see. I tried to pick San Francisco, but Arizona wanted to come and ruin that party. I thought Carolina was going to take care of Oakland, and then Josh Jacobs goes for 3 touchdowns. So I feel like this messed up a lot of people's picks, because there was just some ones that nobody expected, but that's why there is 16, 17 weeks in the season, so we can all try again, and that's what we're going to do this week. So let's move into Week 2 picks. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, we have a battle of the Ohio teams. We have the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns, and to be honest, the Browns did not look very good against Baltimore last week, and Cincinnati, things look promising with Joe Burrow, I will say that. He went up against, a veteran quarterback in Tyrod Taylor, and, Joe Burrow was able to lead the Bengals down the field towards the end of the game, and, we'll just play this real quick.
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
Trust me, Joe Burrow, as a Minnesota Vikings fan, I understand you're hurt with the kicking. But like I said, I like what I saw from Joe Burrow, and I don't like what I saw from Baker Mayfield and the Browns. We'll take the Bengals in this game. Moving over to the Sunday noon games, we'll start with the Bears and the Giants. The Bears were another pick that I wasn't expecting to actually win, and the Giants got completely shut down by Pittsburgh in Week 1. And this one's a bit of a toss-up for me, but like I said in Episode 1, as long as they're starting Mitch Trubisky, I will pick any team against them, regardless of if they won the last week. So I'll take the Giants. Now we're going to move over to the Rams and the Eagles. The Eagles disappointed me last week, and the Rams surprised me last week. And in this one, while I think that the Eagles are a little embarrassing for losing to Washington, I think they'll kind of have a little chip on their shoulder and bounce back, even though I do like what I saw from the Rams as well. I'm going to take the Eagles this week. Moving over to the Falcons and the Cowboys, I was really impressed with the Falcons. Although they lost to Seattle, that's a really good team to lose to, and they hung with them for a little bit, and Matt Ryan threw for 450 yards on what is considered a pretty damn good, Seahawks defense. So, and put with the fact that the Cowboys underperformed in my eyes a little bit, I'm going to take the Falcons this week. Now we're going to move over to the Panthers and the Bucs, and I called it, guys. The Buccaneers, those pieces did not meld well together. And a lot of people are calling Tom Brady a system quarterback now that he's played one bad game with a team that's not New England. I'm not sure if I'm ready to call that out yet, but that doesn't mean I'm going to pick against them again this week. The Panthers, it didn't feel like Teddy Bridgewater really knew how to utilize a guy like Christian McCaffrey yet. He didn't have nearly as many catches as he did last season. I mean, if you average it out, per game or whatever. But from what I remember, he only threw to him a few times. And I don't think that they can win unless they correctly utilize him. DJ Moore's great. The defense is all right, but I'm gonna think that the Buccaneers can turn it around this week, so I'll take the Bucs. Now we're gonna move over to the 49ers and the Jets. This is going to be my lock of the week. I'm not explaining myself. The 49ers are taking this one. The Jets are doo-doo, and the 49ers, they're still good, even though they lost. The Cardinals are gonna be a great team. Like I said, Kyler Murray, dark horse MVP, and while it was a slightly sloppy game on both ends from those teams last week, that doesn't mean that the 49ers are just going to go and lose to the Jets. I have the 49ers. Now, these are two very impressive teams coming up. At least they impressed me in week 1, the Steelers and the Broncos. And yes, the Broncos lost in week 1, but it was a very entertaining game in my eyes. But the Steelers, as you could tell, have a ridiculous defense, and specifically defensive line. I'm pretty sure it's ranked number 1 in the league right now, and they had Saquon have like 15 rushes for, what was it, 3 yards or whatever? I don't even remember. Throw the stats up right there. I don't know, but it was something ridiculous. So if the Steelers can replicate that, take out Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, and force Drew Lock to throw to guys like Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant, it might help a little bit, but those guys are really good in open field, especially guys like Noah Fant. I feel like he's going to be a great tight end. So this one is a little tough for me to call, but just because of how dominant the Steelers were last week and how promising Big Ben and Juju Smith-Schuster looked last week, I'm going to take them, but I'm not going to take them by a lot. Now we're going to move over to the Titans and the Jaguars. Jaguars literally shocked the entire damn world last week. No one was ready for them to win a game. I mean, it was kind of the same thing as Washington. They were like, are they going to tank for Trevor Lawrence or da-da-da-da? And everyone's like, no, Minshew Mania, this guy's the GOAT. This guy is incredible, which he is. But I don't think the Jaguars are going to replicate what they did. And if they do, then, then call me an idiot. Come back to this video when it's time for week 3 picks. Come back to this video. If the Jaguars won, call me an idiot. Dislike the video, do whatever, but only in that situation. Don't dislike the video any other time. But I like the Titans in this one just because I don't think the Jaguars can keep something like this up. Moving on to what, weirdly enough, the Lions' second NFC North battle in the first 2 weeks of the season. I don't know how often that happens, but they're going up against the Green Bay Packers, and as you saw in the game recap between the Vikings and the Packers completely whipped ass against the Vikings, and I don't see Aaron Rodgers doing any less against the Lions. I know that they always play really close, and the Lions have had some games snubbed from them in the past, but the Lions also managed to lose to Mitchell Trubisky, so right now I don't trust them with anything, so we're going with the Packers as much as I hate to do it. Gonna move over to the Dolphins and the Bills, and this was also close to being my lock of the week just because the Bills beat up so bad on the Jets last week, and the Dolphins really underperformed against New England, but I'm sorry, 49ers and Jets is a way better lock to have. But that should explain what I'm about to say. I got the Bills in this one. That defense is real good. Josh Allen looked really solid. Utilized Diggs a little bit, but I don't like the Dolphins right now. But on the bright side, we might see Tua Tagovailoa a little sooner than we thought. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 3 interceptions last week. If he does it again, maybe we see the new guy. We'll see. Bills take this one. Okay, next we have probably one of the biggest disappointments from last week. Actually, 2 of the bigger disappointments. What am I thinking? I was just going to bash on the Vikings again because of what happened last week. But you think about it, Philip Rivers stunk it up against Jacksonville last week. So it's the Vikings and the Colts. And obviously I'm going to be taking the Vikings. But that's only going to be if Philip Rivers isn't able to figure out our super young secondary like Aaron Rodgers did. Plus, still no Danielle Hunter. Michael Pierce is obviously still out because he opted out. So, I mean, we're not going to be getting a lot of pressure, at least from the looks of things. So, we're going to have to try and stuff the run game against, what is it, Nyheim Hines? Is he playing now? Did Marlon Mack get injured? I'm pretty sure. But I'll take the Vikings just for, because that's... You understand. Okay, we're going to move on to the afternoon games with the biggest shocker from last week. Washington facing off against the Arizona Cardinals. And like I said earlier, I did not expect them to win a game this year, let alone go in and beat a team like the Eagles, like a solid team. I don't get it. But as I've said in week 1 picks, and I've already said in this video, Kyler Murray, dark horse MVP candidate. I'm keeping that going throughout the season until he wins MVP. He probably won't. But I like the Cardinals in this. Maybe Washington can keep it close. I don't know. I'm going to say this now. I'm picking Arizona, but I'm not going to be surprised if Washington pulls something out of their ass again and somehow wins another game. So I'll take Arizona. Going to move over to the Ravens and the Texans. Ravens performed really well last week. Granted, it was against the Browns. And the Texans kind of got stomped a little bit by Kansas City, but what could you expect? I think this one could be very close. It's just, a battle of two quarterbacks that play a very similar style of football with Lamar and Deshaun Watson, but I don't know. I just like the Ravens a lot. I think this one could be a little close. I think the Texans could keep up better with the Ravens than they can with the Chiefs, but I'm still going to take the Ravens for now. Now we're moving on to the Chiefs and the Chargers, and considering the fact that the Chargers almost lost to a rookie QB last week, albeit a seemingly good-looking rookie QB, they still had that happen with a veteran QB and guys like Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen at the helm, and a pretty solid defense. And Kansas City obviously came out and showed why they won the Super Bowl last year and why they're a major contender this year, and I think they're going to keep going on the win streak. Oh, a big win streak of 2. But I'm taking the Chiefs in this one. Moving over to Sunday Night Football, this is going to be a great game here. We have the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks, and Cam Newton gained a lot of respect back from me after what he did last week to the Dolphins. Not because I hate the Dolphins or anything, but he essentially is rewriting his brand in a way. He got cut from his team that he had, been so loyal to for multiple years, brought to a Super Bowl, won an MVP, and took minimum money when he was supposed to be making like $18 million if he didn't leave Carolina. He took minimum money with some incentives and came out and proved that he can still be a good quarterback in this league. Now it's after 1 week. I don't know how consistent this is going to be because I've always felt like he's been inconsistent for the most part, but I like what I'm seeing from him right now, and I respect him a lot more for it. But you're also going up against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, who, granted, they played a pretty close game to a team like Atlanta, who I still think is middle of the road. That team is still just too damn good. Defense, very solid. And Russell Wilson is the second best quarterback in the league, right behind Pat Mahomes. So I think this game, I feel, will probably end up going into overtime. It's either going to go into overtime or Seattle's going to somehow blow out New England, but I don't think that's going to happen. Regardless of the situation, I have the Seahawks pulling this one out just by a hair. And we're going to move on to the last game of Week 2. It's going to be the Saints and the Raiders on Monday Night Football, and the Raiders surprised me. And there was a guy in the comments that got upset at me when I said the Raiders didn't do much to improve over the offseason. Like I told him, I don't think that the pickups that they made, like Nelson Aguilar and whatever I said, throw up my comment right there, I can't remember. Corey Littleton, that's what it was. I don't think that they were great improvements. Nelson Aguilar caught a touchdown. I was a little wrong, but the main reason they won was Josh Jacobs, who I said I liked last week. So, that being said, I really like the Saints as well. They went up against a Bucs team that doesn't have great chemistry yet, and that showed. But that doesn't mean that Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, even though Michael Thomas underperformed, I still like what the Saints have on paper, and they're one of the best teams in the NFC. The Raiders look like they could do a little bit if they can rely on Josh Jacobs, which I personally don't recommend trying to, have a running back run your team. I'm going to stop talking about this one because I picked the Saints. Okay, and that's going to wrap up Week 2's picks. I'm hoping that this goes a lot better than last week because last week made me feel like an absolute fool. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, but that's going to wrap up Week 2 picks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you are new here and you have not already, hit the subscribe button down below. If you like this video and you like the picks, give it a like. If you think that some of my picks are wrong and you have reasoning as to why you would say otherwise, comment down. Let's have a conversation. Let's strike a football conversation. I'm always down to do that, guys. As you saw last week, I replied to multiple people's comments. I love doing it. You guys are great. We gained like 6 or 7 subscribers. You guys got the video to almost 250 views. Those numbers don't seem big, but to a small channel like Skull Network, it really does mean a lot. So if you could do all that sort of interaction, subscribe, like, comment, if you want to share as well, then go ahead and do that. It would be greatly appreciated. But that's all I have for this week, and I will see you guys in the Vikings versus the Colts recap video coming out this Monday. Adios.